Hi and welcome to another Tabitha's Glass Emporium YouTube video from our new fantastic studio. Today we're looking at these. These are like your little pocket vases, but they're pocket stockings. So we've made them so you can put some things inside. And I'm going to show you how to make these today. So the first thing I've done is make templates. So I literally just found a nice stocking shape I liked off the internet. And I printed it once. And I printed it twice, in fact, and if you can see, I made sure it wasn't one that was going kind of at right angles. I need to get the fibre paper out, so I just wanted it to be an easy angle to deal with. And then around the second one, I've drawn a line around the outside because one needs to be slightly bigger than the other to give enough space for the stocking to fold over, the top layer to fold over and create a seal with the bottom layer. So I've then sketched them on some paper. And I cut that one out, and I'm going to cut this one out. Now, some lines, I would say like this one, should run quite easily. Saying that, it won't, like that. And then I would say this one might be trickier, so I'm going to take off everything here. Please excuse the person going around the back. This one is probably going to ping off, but I don't mind that too much. Things like this, you shouldn't use breakers, you should use grazing pliers to get those extra bits off. Now, again, to get this, I'm going to go in like this and then take the grazing pliers. Guys, if you haven't used these, are very useful. You always want to make sure the smiley face is down. You put them along close to where one line starts and you're kind of doing an outward pulling motion. And then that, you know, you can also kind of, they've got serrated edges and you can use them to knock bits off. Now, I'm going to use that to make sure all the chips, anything is you want a clean surface. Now this one, I can run along the edge of the line, but I think that might be too much of a bend to take out in one go. So the best thing is to do a smaller piece first. So again, take these, and I do the smaller piece first, and it makes it easier for the bigger piece to come out. And now I can just go on my grinder and grind off the excess bits. So the first thing we need to do is take the top layer, which is the bigger layer because it's going to slump around, and we're going to tack fuse our decorations onto this layer. You could try and maybe do this all together, and because you're going to tack fuse to slump it as well, but I think some of the decorations might slide off because the glue is going to burn out and it's going to be moving, and for me that's just a bit too risky. So you want to think about, which way you want your stockings, which direction. You may want them all in one direction, you may want some in one direction, some in another. For me, these are gifts. These are from one for me and two for my daughters. So I'm going to put them all facing in the same direction. Now I want to kind of decorate the tops, like the top of the stockings. I've decided to use, for my youngest daughter who loves purple, some of our surprise twisty cane. This is an amazing bargain, guys. You get 5 of these for €7 without PDB. That's about $6.50 or by $8. And they are so pretty, these ones. They kind of come in like pink purple, or you can get the red options or the various different colour options, and you get sort of a mix of them, and they're surprised because you don't choose exactly which ones you're going to get. So I'm going to put those on. Now I'm going to just do a kind of spotted pattern across the rest using other purple things. I don't want it kind of, I could use contrasting colours, but I like to use sort of stuff that's for her because I know that she has a kind of, she likes things a bit simple, so I'm using a simple palette to do these. So this is like a spotty stocking. But I'm also going to add some flowers in between these, because she likes a bit of flowers. Oop. Take the next one. So I'm going to carry on decorating these, and you can see how they look as I go. So this one, I'm going to use some of our rose murrine, and I know that not everyone can afford to use lots of very pretty, expensive murrine to do a project, but my daughter loves roses. And you could just use a line of roses at the top and then use frit, and in fact I might use some frit to sort of fill in.
Cold enough to make you shiver, but not cold enough to snow. Cold enough to know it's winter, perfect time to say our first hello.
So now I'm going to add some of our water lilies. Now this is a kind of extravagant one, but I know she'll love these. And look how beautiful they look. There's a pattern across. And then I'm going to spot around some pretty hearts because, I love her.
Scarves and sweaters bundled up in cotton, knowing names that wouldn't be forgotten, laughing over our own sense of humor underneath the Christmas lights that glow.
And then for this one, I want a sort of more traditional one for the red one. So I'm just going to use some white frit. This happens to be dense white. I'm not a big fan because it does tend to vitrigraph, but hopefully in frit that won't matter. And that's all I happen to have. So, a really good layer.
I'm glad I got to know you better. We've come so far.
So I'm trying to get quite an even layer at the bottom. I'm just going to use what I've got around, sort of push it all up to try and make it nice and even, and then I think I need a bit more. And then I want to put on top a little bit of my favourite irid clear frit, just to add a bit of sparkle. On top, I probably should add a bit of glue to help it stick. And then to decorate it, we've got these absolutely new pancetta shaped murrine, which I think would be quite fun to use to decorate the stocking with. How great does that look? I love that. It really looks so Christmassy. So you can go for very traditional like this, or you can go for something kind of more fun and funky like the other ones. It's entirely up to you what your design choices are. Some of these have a lot of green on them, some of them are more red. I'm using a kind of mixture of what I grab as I grab them. Now I could sort of like cut some off the edge. I could take one of these and cut it with some mosaic nippers and put it on it. In fact, I could and I will. That's an idea if you want to get it to feel like the pattern is going on a bit further around the piece. Again, sometimes on our XLs you get this These little tags, you just need to cut them off. Oop. I'll do one more. Half. One here. One here. And I think that looks great just as it is. So these will go in the kiln on a tack fuse, and once they're out we can show you how to put the whole project together. So here they are out of the kiln. I really like how they turned out. I'm particularly enamoured with the red one. These poinsettias will be online to buy now. So they look really great. So the next thing to do is to get the bottom layer. So, and then you need to put some fibre paper to make your pocket round. So we don't have any 6mm fibre paper at the moment, we're out. So we're using 3 layers of 3mm and just using any, you can use PVA, whatever glue you've got to hand. But gluing them together. So I would say that if you, depending on what, and I know guys, I'm sorry for you Americans out there, I am going to talk in millimetres, but I think it's the 1/4 inch. You'd like one piece of 1/4 inch and one piece of 1/8 inch, or 3 pieces of 1/8 inch. So that's for you guys in metric, that's one piece of 6mm and one piece of 3mm. But if you've only got 3mm, you can just do 3 layers of 3mm. And then effectively what you're doing is you're just going to shave off to kind of mould it a bit. Now, I haven't done a very good job there. And I've taken a bit of chunk too much off, but anyway, it should be fine. But you get the idea, is you're wanting to shape, and you can do a little bit of an insole, and just, you know, give it a bit of shape. So your stocking, to give it a little bit more caricature. Oh, I can't say that today. I'm not going to try anymore. Caricature. You get my idea today. Anyway, so that's that. So once you've got the shape, your desired shape, you can put it on your stocking. And again, I'm going to glue just to hold it in place. You want to make sure that it's fitting right up to the top, because you obviously don't want the top to close. And would say that if I was thinking about doing this again, I probably might make it a little bit longer at the bottom than the fibre paper, just to give me a bit bigger pocket. And then you're just going to glue this. And I'm going to sort of looking down the bottom, I'm looking down the back of it like this, to sort of make sure that it's covering up. Now guys, I think it's probably, I'm going to get quite a big overlap of the this glass. It might come out, but I'd much rather the top layer be bigger than smaller when it's going around. So I'm just sort of checking all the way around the edge with my fingers to make sure it's on. So I'm going to do the same with the other ones. I've also made, I've got excuse me, a Taurus saw. So I've cut out some little hoops, and I know this is the most inelegant hoop you've ever seen, and I'll probably recut it, but it can just go in the corner like that, and then it will fuse together, and it will round off a bit anyway with the firing. And then you've got something that your kind of stockings can hang off. You need to sort of think about the angle of the hoop. I'm probably going to do mine kind of like this, so it, you know, it can hang up off something, and they will hang at an angle, but that's the look I'm going for. If you don't have a Taurus, you could literally just put a piece of metal hoop, or you could use sort of 4 bits of glass like so, and just sort of put them together. And you could use something like that as your not 4 pieces, 3 pieces, going kind of one up, one along and one down instead, to hang your stocking from. So I'm going to make sure that the other ones are ready, and I'm going to put them in the kiln. They're going to go on a tack fuse with a kind of long bubble squeeze to make the glass nice and supple and hopefully will sit down around the bottom layer of the glass and go in on that. And then we can see how they are when they come out and ready to use. So here they are out of the kiln. In principle, I think these are fantastic. There are things I will change when I make them again, but I really like the idea. We could have gone bigger with the fibre paper. If you're seeing, my main concern was to make sure that the top layer completely covered the bottom layer, which it does on all of them. But we could have gone a bit thicker on the fibre paper, a bit bigger and probably thicker. As you can see, the hole isn't very big, and I might be able to fit a candy cane in that one if I'm lucky, if I can find some small ones, but I'm not sure. The fibre paper was tough to get out. I didn't do it, Miller did, and she said some very unpleasant words, Miller, about getting the fibre paper out. It was tricky. So yeah, that was hard. I love these new poinsettias of ours. I think they work really well as a sort of textural feature. I really like using the water lilies as on here. Maybe this didn't work as well, but it's good. And I think that the surprise twisty cane is a really great top of this one. I love my hooks. I think I did it well here, but really, do better than Tabitha. Don't cut your hooks like this and hope it's going to be okay in fusing, because when you're going for such a low tack fuse as this, it really isn't. But I like the design. I think that the weight and balance of the whole project works really well, and I like this design. So yeah, I think this is a fun, cool Christmas project, and I hope you can all make them and have them hanging up for your Christmases. I really hope you've liked this YouTube video. Please turn on your alerts so you know when new ones are coming out, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We're nearly up to 10,000 subscribers, and that would be my Christmas present if you can make it happen from you to me. It would be really cool to have 10,000 subscribers before Christmas. From me, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying our new studio space. We're loving it here, and we hope we get some fantastic creative ideas out to you soon, with the joy of this new space giving us some creative energy.